Hi everyone, I'm going to be making a tutorial today on how to use the Symmetry tool to make a cool anime-esque face, or honestly kind of anything. If you want to see how the Symmetry tool works in the Photoshop CC, it's a relatively new tool that they've added, and I was dabbling with it and thought it was cool, so figured I would show you guys how I've been using it. So you're going to find the Symmetry tool in your brush settings here. It's going to be the little butterfly. If you don't see that there, that means it hasn't been enabled yet. So you're going to go to Photoshop, go to your preferences, go all the way down to technology previews, and make sure enable paint symmetry is on. If you once you click it on, it'll be right there at your brush settings. For the sake of this tutorial, let's do something new. And 11 by 11 is fine, 300 resolution. I do RGB color because this is going to live on the web, so that should be fine. Now, before I actually use the tool, you could see it real quick. When you click on it, do new vertical, you get a nice line there. You could change this if you want to, but I'm going to keep it at its straight position, the default for this tutorial. And at make a new layer, I always make a new layer. I don't like drawing on that base one. And just so you can see how it works, whatever you draw on one side will happen on the other. This will be really good for making patterns if you need to make a pattern for anything, kind of thing. But we're going to use it for faces. Now, and then if you want to turn off the tool, you just click on it again, symmetry off. Now, for my sake, I don't just like going straight into drawing a face. I still need to draw a base of something first, just rough drafting a general, okay, let's kind of see what I want this to look like. Super rough. You don't have to worry about crazy details or anything like that. I do want this character to have wavy hair, and since I know it's going to be symmetry, I want it down the middle. Something like that. And then neck. And I'm going to have it cut off there. So it's just a nice space. This would be great for stickers, or shirts, or anything like that. Let's see. Eyes open. Yeah, eyes open. Nice and wide-eyed. Eyebrow situation. And let's do, want to do big lips? Do you want to do like a that? Nah. Make face are bigger. We could do a simple. We could do a simple mouth here. Rough eyes here. Nose, we'll figure that out. All right, so simple face. Let's reduce the opacity of that. So we have it there, we can kind of see it. Make a new layer, and now let's turn on the symmetry. I like using the new vertical. It's just a straight, right down the line, don't worry about it kind of thing. If you don't like drawing with the blue line there the whole time, if you click on it, you could always hide the symmetry and it'll still work, it'll still do the double thing. But I personally like the line there. Just kind of helps me. I like seeing where it's centered for me. So yeah, let's start. Oh, by the way, an extra thing, if you want to use some cool fancy brushes, Photoshop CC now comes with Kyle's brushes. So if you go to Window, Brushes, there we go. And you should see a whole bunch of folders with different kinds of brushes. If you open up the Mega Pack, go to Inkbox. There's all sorts of really great, just inking brushes. I like having stuff with grit, but you could go smooth and things like that. I think for this one, I'm gonna go, what's this one look like? Ooh, that's too much. Too much. This is also where you get to test a whole bunch of things. So, ooh, this one's kind of rough. Do I like that? Do I like that brush? And I think I want to go smoother. Where are you at? Ooh, Belgian Comics. Yes, that's great. Belgian Comics smoother. Ooh, even better. Let's go with that. start here. And what's great about this is like when I normally draw faces, particularly straight on, I have a tendency to like tilt a certain way. You can probably see it in the rough sketch too. But this will help keep you steady. Now, mind you, like you see me, I'm undoing a lot because I get really particular about the line. There we go. And connect. What's great, the Symmetry tool also works on the erase side of it. So if you see something, you know it'll be fixed on the other side too. Start with the ears. And it kind of feels a little trippy because you kind of want, like my instinct to draw normally is to go on the other side. It's like, oh yeah, that line's already there. And let's see, with the hair, if you start on the other side, just so you'll get a cross like that. However, I mean, you can make that work for your character. Let's say, look, like now she kind of looks like a queen of some kind. You could do some really cool things with that and add like a crown, markings. Actually, you know what? I was just joking around with that, but I kind of like this crown. Now she's some kind of, let's say, I could give her like the upside down moon guardian thing, a la Sailor Moon. A little bit of that, although these two lines are a little too bulky for my taste. We could round those out, erase this to make this point a little sharper, and then boom, now you have like a really cool queen-haired thing. Neat, neat. Also, we could do fancy earrings. Some diamond-shaped things. Man, she started off as just a regular old girl, and now she's like a moon princess. Not to narc on Sailor Moon, but you know, even that. So maybe one of these. Space it out. I'm just doodling at this point, you guys, just to kind of show you how neat and experimental you could kind of get with this. Let me turn this off and see. Do I like that? I kind of like that. It's weird, but I dig it. Let's top off this row here. I want to match that swish. There we go. Erase that. And now we could add like maybe some slight curve detail here. You like that? Oh, that seems silly. Oh, there we go. Something like that. Maybe she has like a jewel on her dress of some kind. Just want to chop that off. We haven't even gotten to her face yet. It's just fun kind of adding details this way and not having to worry about the other side matching or not. Now we kind of have like this make-do princess. Now you don't have to worry about the eyes being lopsided. Although it's kind of neat to see like, oh, well now like the eyes are closer to center. There we go. There it is. Tiny scary eyes. Hey, aliens. And you can even do that kind of thing where she's like an alien being. I kind of want her to be cute. Cute, big-eyed. Give her a little bit of eyelash there. Bring eye in here to give her a lid. I think I'm going to give her some modern day, thicker eyebrows. If you were giving her the regular eyebrows, it'd be like just like a done. Be very light. But nowadays, everybody likes those bigger eyebrows. Slightly thicker. But since she's, considering her an alien now, I'm not gonna give it like all the way over. It's just we're gonna go short. Maybe add like a dot there to kind of do that. Do mouth. We could do scary mouth, where she's like a lizard lady. It's like, ooh, lizard tongue. Or sweet, just sweet, very anime, little tiny mouth there. Could do kind of like a thicker lip situation that way. Well, I like that top lip. I think I'm going to keep that. And then do a little bit there for the middle to see that. Her nose. This is great because you could just kind of do like a quick dabble and boom, you have a nose. Or if you want to do like something more angular, you have that situation going. If you want to just do the line like that. Or you just go down the middle and do very, very anime straight down. But I think for me, I prefer kind of like a little bit of a button nose. Any cool like markings or anything like that. Like, so now that we've determined she's an alien girl, we could kind of go in and do any type of like extra makeup thing. Maybe from here. I'm undecided on that. Just because when you're doing your eyes and you want to do the eye shine, if that's into your thing, I don't like using the Symmetry for eye shine because I think the eye shine should come from the same direction. So we'll turn off the Symmetry real quick and manually do the eye shine from the same direction. I turn Symmetry back on. And you could always use last Symmetry just in case if you do move it and things like that. Get it out the way. Now that we have most of it there, I'm going to turn off this base layer. We have our girl. If we want to add more details from here, like maybe more, like I want more in her hair. If we're going to have the swirl here, kind of add more lines to show that her hair is coming out. Sometimes it's hard to continue a curve. And now you don't worry about doing it twice. So we have that. Let's give her a little bit of collarbone there. And yeah, here's with the line turned off what she looks like. Yeah. Now you have to worry about it being uneven on both sides. Maybe I want to give her a little bit of a line for her nose there. A little bit of definition. You could even do cheekbones to make her look a little more jaunt and older. Underneath, look, boom, instant older lady thing. Really make her gaunt. So now moving on to color. I would recommend making another layer underneath. Now, if you want, you could draw your colors on. So like say if you want this moon symbol to be yellow, you want this to be yellow, you could manually color it that way. It'll color it on both sides, which is really nice and lovely. But if you want to fill in like a bigger space, you want to use your palette, you want to use your lasso tool, make sure you're still underneath the other layer, and you can manually select the area you want to color. And do that. That's cool. Let's give her like some cool green hair. Now mind you, yeah, like you could sit here and color it in this way if that is more soothing to your sensibilities. For me though, just to save time, I just like using the select and going through and just tracing the outline. I don't like always using paint bucket just to fill in the lines that way. because I have a habit of maybe not closing the lines and then it just goes all over the place. So I'd rather manually select for the area. And then go in and like fill in the places that I may have missed. We have that. Let's do her eyes. And what's great, like you could do the manual part for the eyes. Except for the shine area is gonna look a little funky, so I'll turn off the symmetry with that. There, let's give her darker blue lips. Two eyes? Teal eyes? See how like it's not, because I did that with the, for the eye tool here. Turn off the symmetry real quick so I can adjust her eyes. Turn it back on. Finish the jewelry here. See, I went out of the lines there a little bit. Do that. And just for the sake of this, I want this piece of her hair to be a different color completely. Now, if you wanted to add shading or anything like that, you go ahead and do that as well. But remember that the shading is going to be on both sides. So you kind of want to hit areas where that makes sense for that to happen, like under the nose, under the lip. You could even do under the eye if you wanted her to look a little tired. Or you could do the corner here, ears, just underneath the hair. But you're going to have to treat it whereas if the light is coming straight on for this to look effective. Upper lip always tends to look a little darker than the bottom lip because it gets a little bit more sun. And you might want to add some shading to the eye. Give it a little depth there. And of course in the hair. Now I'm just doing a quick way of, well, not a quick way. I'm just going into the color picker and picking a slightly darker tone. It's not great for color theory, like if you really wanted the whole thing to look warm, but it makes do in a pinch. It still looks nice. Albeit it's not the most dynamic way to color. But it's not offensive. It's a little darker. And to make this slightly more dynamic, we could do some highlights. Actually, for the highlights, we'll do the other way to do this, which is you can make a new layer, set it to screen, make it about 50% in your opacity, and then pick like a nice color. Since we're using a lot of blues and greens, we're gonna like make it like a light yellowish green here. We could just start, and then what I do so I don't go out of the lines, because otherwise like it's there even though you don't see it, I start by command clicking the bottom layer and then going back to that screened layer that I did. So that area is selected so I won't go out of the boundaries of the art when I do this. So, and then here, so now you see you have a nice highlight that is affecting both sides. Do this on her cheeks. Do it on the tip of her nose. You could even, if you wanted to do her cheekbones that way, you could do a little alien blush highlight that way. Highlighting ears, the neck here for cheekbones, maybe the top of her eye. And we'll shine to her jewelry. Oh, that's not light enough for her jewelry. Let's do white for that. Let's turn off the symmetry now. And that's pretty much it. If you wanted to, since your lines are on a separate layer, if you lock it, you could then select another color, maybe closer to it. Like you could pick a very dark blue for this particular picture, or like a bluish green. Very dark, almost black, but like a little bit lighter. You could go in, and as long as that layer is locked, you could fill it in, or you could do Command Delete, and that will, whatever your top color is, it'll fill all in that. That one you could barely tell. Let's pick a slightly lighter green. Or Option Delete, I'm sorry, it'll be Option Delete to do the top color. That's actually a little too light. Go back to my dark one. Option Delete, look, and it'll fill the whole area as long as this is locked. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it helps you when you use Photoshop, at least in a way to use a new tool and to kind of play around with it. I think it'll be really useful, and hope you can make some cool art with it. Yeah. Like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos like this, vlogs, gaming videos, all that stuff. I hope to see you guys later. Bye.